guys, it's Michelle. Thank you so much for coming and practicing with me today. Today's yoga practice is all about your back, just getting your back to feel strong, open, and hopefully in a little bit less pain. This is perfect for those of you who have been sitting all day or just need that sense of feeling supported in your spine and in your back. So we'll take you through some nice stretching, but also a little bit of strengthening. Strength actually really helps with your back, especially lower back pain. And then we'll start also with some nice stretching at the beginning for the neck and shoulders. So I hope this works for you, and let me know in the comments how you feel afterwards. All right, sit tall. I suggest, especially if you have lower back issues, that you sit on a blanket. I have a blanket underneath my hips. Just sit comfortably, nice and cross-legged. You can also stack a couple of blankets underneath the hips to elevate if you have tight hips. Lift the shoulders, roll them back, and do that a few times. Just letting the hands relax gently on the knees. So bring the shoulders forward, up and back. A couple more times here. Sit tall. And then go the other way. So sweep the shoulders back, bring them up and forward. Back, up, forward, and down. Just loosening the shoulders a little bit. And then gently drop the head to the right. So right ear toward the right shoulder. Take a full inhale, exhale. And then bring the head back to center and drop the head to the other side. Left ear drawing toward left shoulder. Inhale, exhale. And then back to center. Draw the palms together at the heart. Just a few moments here to sit silently, closing the eyes, drawing the gaze inward. Begin to soften the face, soften the neck and the shoulders, separate the teeth. And just for the next few moments, notice what your body is doing right here in space. So notice how it's sitting, all the contact points it has with the ground. Noticing the palms gently pressed together. And also observe any areas of tension or pain. And acknowledging that. Being kind here in this practice today, moving with what we have, the elements and the ingredients that make up who we are, accepting that and proceeding from there. So bow the head toward the heart, gently open the eyes and lift the gaze up. Release the hands. Now let's take this into a seated twist. So lift and reach here. It's almost like your whole rib cage is lifting up from the hips, and then cross that hand, left hand outside the right knee. And then just for a moment, drop the head toward the right. So you're twisting toward the right, and then the right ear is moving toward the right shoulder, just as we did at the beginning, but now we're having a little twist. Don't need to go far. Just sitting evenly. Make sure the hand is behind you for support without leaning too far back, forward or side to side. So nice and centered here. And then bring the head back up and release everything back to center. Inhale, stretch and reach here, almost again like you're lifting the rib cage out of the hips, and then take a twist. So left hand comes behind, right hand comes outside of the left knee, and lift the chest here. And then gently dropping the head. If it feels right, go ahead and drop the head toward the left shoulder. Noticing the breath, moving the breath, almost like it's moving into the side of the right neck, right side of the neck. And then bring the head back up and come back center. Bring the hands in front of you and then crisscross the arms. I have my right over left, and draw the palms together, thumbs are down. Begin to round the spine here. So pull the fingertips toward you, or away from you actually, toward me. And round the spine. Let the head drop a little. And then release the hands. Inhale, open the chest, open the arms. And then reach the arms up, palms face one another. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Second side. So Extend the arms ahead of you, cross left over right, palms together, thumbs are down, and then round the spine. Almost like you're making the letter C with the spine. Stretch the fingers away from you. And I'll show you from the side what this looks like. Pulling the arms away, letting the head drop a little bit, and then release the arms, sit tall here, reach the arms back, inhale, draw the ribs in, lift the chest, inhale, exhale, and then inhale again, reach the arms up, and then drawing the palms together at the heart. Inhale, sweep the arms, lift them up, reach the ribs up, exhale, hands to heart center. 2 more like that. Inhale, sweep and reach and lift. Gaze comes up. Draw the navel in. And exhale. Move the hands to the heart and release the palms down. So we'll start here with coming onto our hands and knees. If you have knee issues, feel free to keep the blankets underneath the knees. So right away, knees are hips distance apart. Wrists are underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingertips wide. And for this one, uncurl the toes. So press the shins down and draw the navel in without overarching here. Just a nice neutral spine. Long in the neck, so we aren't cranking the neck up. Just keeping the chin tucked here. Take a full inhale. On the exhale, round the upper back, lower the tail, and lower the head. Feel a stretch in between the shoulder blades. Inhale, reverse. Opening up the chest, lift the tailbone, and almost like you're drawing your shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, round again. So moving now with your breath. Inhale, open, lift the chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, taking all the breath in, moving slowly and mindfully here. Exhale, all the air out, round. And one more cycle just like that. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, round. Coming back to that neutral spine. Now you have the option to leave both hands grounded or lifting one arm up. First, we'll start with the leg. So extend the left leg out and just keep the ankle more or less in line with the hip and draw the toes down. So if the toes are kicking out, draw the toes down. That just means your hip is now pointing down. Draw the ribs in, a lot of stability now coming from your core and strength from the back. Extend the arm up, opposite arm. So right arm, thumb is lifted. Listen to your back. If you have lower back pain, feel free to lower that foot down, bring the hand down. Holding here for one more breath, and then release the hand down. Second side. So extending the right leg out, and then lift the right foot. Leg is straight, and then extending the left arm. Neck is long here. So again, draw the ribs in, using that lower belly strength to protect the back. One more breath here, and lower down. Now we'll add some movement. So inhale, extend, exhale, knee draws in, elbow draws in, round the back here. Inhale, extend left leg, right arm. Exhale, round again. You can always leave that hand down and just work the leg. Inhale, open, just like this. Exhale, round. And one more here. Inhale, press the heel back, stretch the fingertips forward, and round. And lower down. And just taking a quick moment here. Open, close the wrists, the fingers, to help engage the muscles around the wrists. And then second side. So that's a little trick you can do in yoga. If you feel a little bit of strain on the wrist, just start to activate the muscles in the forearm, in the fingers. Extending out now the right leg. Option, left arm sweeps out. And here we go. Exhale, draw the knee in, draw the elbow in, round the back. Nice, straight, strong right arm. Extending out, lift the chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, remember you can drop the left arm down anytime, just like this. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend. One more repetition here. And opening up, press the heel back, stretch the fingers forward. And let's release into a brief resting hero's pose. So bring your toes together and feel free to sneak that blanket underneath the hips. and walk the hands out. So I'm draping my torso in between my knees as I extend my hands out. Now, if your head doesn't quite reach the mat, I encourage you to take a blanket or a block or a pillow underneath the forehead. We'll stay here for a few rounds of breath. So this would be the block option if the forehead doesn't rest on the mat. Move the hips back, stretch the fingers forward. Continue walking the fingertips forward and really finding that release in the back. And then begin to walk the hands over to the left. And it's almost like you want the right fingers to go ahead of the left fingers. So you're stretching the right side of the body and pull the right hip back. Avoid trying to lift up the right hip though. Keep the hips centered and grounded. And then taking this to the other side. So slowly walking the fingers over to the right. And again, you're crawling the left fingers now more ahead of the right. Pulling the left hip back. Finding a nice side bend stretch here. One more breath, making sure you're not lifting up on the left hip. And then walk back to center. Walk the hands back, coming into downward facing dog. So anytime you get fatigued or a pose is too overwhelming, feel free to return to that resting hero's pose, Adho Mukha Virasana. Now we're coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Uncurl the toes. I like to step my hands forward just a little bit. And then keep a nice bend in the knee here. Lift the hips up and back. So it's really important anytime in yoga you're doing a forward fold and you tend to have lower back issues, keeping a bend in the knee will help. The hamstrings like to pull on the lower back if they're especially tight. So you circumvent that pulling on the lower back with tight hamstrings by just keeping a soft bend in the knee. And then over time, you can begin to straighten the legs out. And that can happen in today's practice, or it can happen over time as you continue your practice. Begin to walk the hands forward. And this is where I encourage blocks in your forward fold. So in your forward fold, blocks next to the feet, next to the ankles, knees are bent, and folding in here. So that's what it looks like from the front. Or taking the blocks like so, and this is what it looks like from the side. Now we're trying to keep the hips over the ankles, so shift the weight forward. And again, soft bend in the knees. Head hangs here. One more breath. Inhale, exhale, and rise to stand. And bring the palms together at the heart. We're moving a little bit now just to generate some heat in the body to help strengthen and also open up the muscles. So let's begin. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Look up, stretch up. Feel free to leave the blocks there. We'll use them in a moment. Exhale, forward fold. Hands can come to the blocks. This is halfway up, half forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana. Be mindful of the back. So if this doesn't work for your back, soft bend in the knees, hands to the shins. Pull the sternum forward. Exhale, forward fold. Rise to stand here. You can sweep the arms out to the side, and also you can keep your hands to hips anytime we rise up. Exhale, palms to heart center. Again, sweep the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, fold. So arms can be out, but this tends to be a lot of load on the back, so be mindful of that. And just bring hands to hips if it's a little too much. Inhale, halfway up. Ardha Uttanasana is the name of this pose. Press through the feet. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise to stand, grow tall here. And palms to the heart center. So we'll continue to build on that. Now inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hands to blocks. Bend in the knees if needed. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bend your knees and step the right leg back into a low lunge. Lift the chest here. So keeping that knee over the ankle is important, but what equally important is keeping the back knee behind the hips. So this knee here isn't just straight underneath my hips, it's further back. Lift the hip points up, drawing the ribs in, draw in the lower abdomen. Holding here for a breath, and then move the blocks out of the way, hands come to the mat, coming into a knee plank. Shift the body weight forward. So fingertips are wide here, coming all the way down to chaturanga. Elbows hug in, uncurl the toes, low cobra, lift the chest, point the toes back. Be mindful of your lower back. Coming out of the pose or reducing range if there's pain. Holding here for another breath. And then drawing back into down dog. Step the right leg forward, low lunge. Inhale, lift the chest. Fingertips to blocks. Draw the ribs in. Exhale to forward fold. So curl the back toes under and step in. Inhale, press through the feet, rising to stand. And hands come to heart center. Second side. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, extend through the spine, forward fold, soft bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, bend your knees, hands to blocks, step the left leg back into low lunge, uncurl the toes. Again, knee is over the ankle, back knee is behind the hip so you can stretch and feel that opening in the front of the hip. And then coming into a knee plank. So stepping the right leg back. Elbows hug in, point them straight back. Use control as you lower down. Chest meets the ground first, and then low cobra. So uncurl the toes, press the toes down into the mat, lift the chest, pull the sternum forward. Hold here for another breath, and then press the ground away from you, coming into down dog. And step the left leg forward, low lunge here. Inhale, lift the chest. Pull the left hip back if it's starting to sneak forward. We're trying to keep the work in your muscles. And then forward fold. Curl the back toes under, step forward. Inhale, rise to stand. And exhale, palms come to the heart. Okay, moving on from here. Coming into chair pose. So sink the hips down, bend the knees, and bring your hands to your hips. Notice here if you have a lot of rounding in the lower back, begin to just extend the tailbone out. Holding here for another breath. I'm going to show you from the front. Keep a lift in the chest, draw the ribs in, and then lower down a little more. Now we'll lift the arms. That's just an option here. If it feels not good in the back, then just leaving the hands to the hips. Lift the arms up here and lift the chest. This time making sure you're not over swaying the back. So nice, strong, neutral spine. One more breath here. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands to the mat or two blocks, coming into a high plank. And then lower the knees down, chaturanga. Bend the elbows. Uncurl the toes to low cobra, point the toes back, press the tops of the feet down, lift up, and exhale into down dog. So moving forward here into warrior two, lift the right leg up any amount here. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. If that doesn't quite make it, just walk the foot forward. Plant the left foot down at an angle so the back heel is further back than the toes, and then lift up into warrior two. So we'll start with warrior two legs. Either heel to heel alignment or heel to inner thigh. Sinking down low, have an evenness in the hips here. So if one hip is starting to sink down, just lift the front hip points up. Draw the navel in. And for this first round, keep the chest and the gaze to the long side of the mat. Open up, broaden the chest here. Feel yourself coming down a little more if there's space, and then coming into downward facing dog. So you can do a fancy circle of the arms or however you'd like to get into downward facing dog. And take a break by taking a breath in down dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg up, and then set the left foot in between the hands. Lower the right foot down at an angle and lift up here. So the right heel is further back than the right toes. This knee is over the ankle in the front leg, evening out the hips here. Nice and long in the sides of the trunk. Holding here for another breath. And then coming into down dog. So I'm going to sweep back this way and meet you on this side. Take a breath here, lifting the hips. Inhale now, sweeping the right leg up. Exhale, bring the right foot in between the hands. Set the left foot down at an angle, warrior two, with extended arms. Open the arms out, lift the chest, and gaze over the front fingertips. Begin to sink down here, and begin to just press the right knee out a little bit more to the right if the right knee is starting to buckle in. Draw the ribs in, and then straighten the leg here. And now we can begin to tilt the hips and stretch the right arm forward over the leg and bring the hand to the shin, or take a block and bring the hand to the inside of the leg. Lift the top arm, ground down through the feet, lift the chest, and open up here. So leg strength and openness actually translates to a really healthy lower back. So we're opening up your hips and then also strengthening your legs for one more breath. Rising to stand here, and we'll just take it straight to the second side. So spin the right toes in, heels behind the toes, and the left toes are out 90 degrees. We'll take it into second warrior. So nice wide stance here. You don't want this knee over the ankle, and you don't want the knee too far behind. So you have to find a nice wide enough stance to where when you lunge down, this knee sets right over that ankle. So open the chest here, extend and expand the arms, and gaze over the fingertips. Nice and long in this torso and the spine, softening your gaze for one more breath. And then straighten the leg, finding triangle pose. Now the hips can shift a little. You can stretch and reach forward here, and bringing the hand to the shin or to a block. Begin to turn the chest open and lift up the top arm. Take a breath here, press down through the legs, open the chest. One more breath here. And gaze down, soft bend in the knee. Pivot the foot forward and then step the feet together. Great, excellent. So let's come into a low lunge and then stepping into a high lunge. So keep the blocks next to you if you need to. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, coming into low lunge. Step the right leg back. Bring it down. Lift the chest. And then from here, begin to lift the back knee up and come lightly onto the block with the fingertips. Hold the left hip back and draw the chest forward. Bring your hands to your hips and lift up here. Have a nice bend in the back leg. Lift the chest. One more breath here. Lean forward. Catch hold of the block, straighten the back leg, and lower the knee down. Let's take a twist. So either the block can come to the inside of the foot, or you can just remove the block and bring your hand to the inside of the foot. Either way, hand to block or right hand to the inside of the left foot. Begin to twist here. So you're turning your chest open and up toward the left side, but also up toward the sky. Lift and reach up here with the hand. Press down through the left heel. Turn on the inner thighs. One more breath. Beautiful. Drop the hand down. Let's step back into down dog just to reinforce that nice length in the spine. And then step the feet forward. Inhale here. Halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale, palms to heart center. This time we'll step the left leg back, Anjaneyasana. Lower the left knee down. Lift the chest. Uncurl the toes. And then begin to curl the back toes under and lift the back thigh up. Draw the ribs in, lift the chest. Hands come to the hips, soft bend in the knee, lift yourself up here. A lot of balance involved, give yourself some time. And then leaning forward, hands come to the blocks, straighten that back leg one more time, and then lower that knee down. We'll begin to twist here now to the left. I'm just going to spin around so I can see you, or you can see me. Left hand to the inside of the right foot. Press the right hand down into the thigh just for a moment here to lift the chest, using this as a lever here, and then straighten out that arm. Pull the right hip back a little bit if it's starting to release forward. Same thing again, front knee over the ankle. Press down into the inner foot. One more breath here, and then downward facing dog. Any way you need to get into it. And then drop the knees down and sit. Sweep the legs around, getting into a little bit of core strength, which translates really well into a healthy lower back. So this front part being strong will just tremendously help us lower back. Feeling a lot better. Lift the chest, roll the shoulders back, inhale here. So you're holding onto the backs of the thighs, pressing the feet down, and exhale, lifting up. You can also reach the arms either ahead of you or overhead and come back up. 2 more like that. Inhale and exhale, and 1 more here. And then lower yourself down. So I'm going to scoot forward just a little bit, round the back and lower down. Bring the hand behind the nape of the neck and lift the knees up. Inhale, lift the chest. Lift the shoulders. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, draw the navel down toward the spine. Exhale, and last one here. And lower down. So either leave the knees bent or extend the legs up. And we'll do that again. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. Be mindful of the lower back here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift the shoulder blades up. Exhale. 2 more. And last one here. And lower down. Hug your knees into your chest for a moment. Take a quick breath. And then toes together, knees come wide. Inhale here, lift the head, neck, shoulder, and reach the hands forward, palms press away from you. Inhale, coming back down. Exhale, hands come to the outside of the left knee. Feel free to draw the knees a little bit closer together. And then come back. Other side, lift and twist and reach. And come back center. 1 more round just like that. Press the hands forward, coming back. Hands press to the outside of the left thigh, coming back. Last one here. Lift and twist. And coming back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. Lower the feet down. Bring the ankles underneath the knees. Begin to lower the lower back into the mat for a moment. Lift the tailbone up. And then release. So it's very subtle here. Hip points lift, tailbone lifts, and then it's almost like a little bit of a lower back arch. So just articulating the lower spine. 2 more like that. And then bridge pose from here. So come back to a neutral spine. Hold the sides of the mat. Press the heels down. Press the inner arches, the inner foot down, and lift the chest here. So either hanging on to the mat here, or you can tuck the shoulders and the upper arms underneath the body and catch hold of the hands. You can also take your strap and bring it in between the hands. Lift the chest, move the chest toward the chin, and release down. Couple of repetitions here, and then we'll start to wind down. So lengthen the tailbone, press and lift the hips, and then lower down. Press and lift, keeping the glute engaged, not the lower back. Lower down. 4 more. Lengthen. Press on the exhale. 2 more. Last one. And lower everything down. Stretch out just for a moment. Extend the legs. Reach the arms overhead and then draw the knees towards you and cross left leg over right knee. So left ankle over right knee. And you can either stay here and just focus on moving that knee away from you, or you can actively draw the right leg towards you and catch hold of the back of the thigh. So a supine or laying down number 4 stretch. Just getting into the hips a little bit. Holding here. Moving that knee a little bit further away from you. Keep a nice flex in the ankle. Relax the jaw, soften the gaze. We'll take a little bit of a twist here. So uncross that foot and then knee stack, hip stack, draw the legs over to the right. And lucky me, I have some blankets and my sweatshirt back here to hold my legs. You can do the same. You can sneak something underneath your legs to help support so your legs can rest. Open up the arms, just looking over opposite shoulder if it works. Being mindful again, if this fires up or hurts your lower back, come out of the pose and then just open up the legs. Take a moment's rest. And then come back to center. Release the feet down and cross right ankle over left. Again, move the knee away from you. You can stay right here or draw the left leg in toward the chest. Hugging the back of the thigh or even the front of the shin. Move the knee away from you. Ankles flexed. Gaze is soft. And if you have a chance in this space, listen to your breath. Notice the breath pattern. And then lowering, uncrossing the legs. Draw the knees into the chest and bring them over to the left side. Open out the arms and gaze can come over the right shoulder. Slowly come back to center and roll up to a seat. I encourage you to sit on some height here, getting into a little bit of stretching. Begin to open out the legs. I'll use my hands here to lift myself up and slide myself a little bit forward. Bring your hands outside your hips and press the legs down. Flex the ankles and draw the toes toward the face. Roll the shoulders back. Sit tall here. Open the chest. Press the ankles down, press the heels down, press the legs down. Any amount here. So sitting tall, or you can walk the hands forward, moving from the hips, and lift the chest. So it's really important here not to round the spine. If you find yourself in this position as you come forward, I encourage you to come back and work on your posture. Work on sitting tall, activating the muscles that support that posture, that nice sitting length in the spine. So we'll hold here for a few more breaths, either in a forward fold with a long spine. For some, you can come all the way down. If you're especially bendy, go ahead and press the heels down, press the legs down into the ground to make it more about strength than over exploiting your joint. 2 more breaths. Full inhale. 1 more. Slowly walk the hands back. Draw one leg in. I'm drawing my right leg in. Knee comes out. I'm going to lower my height a little bit so I feel a little bit more closer to the ground. Bring your hands on either side of the hips again and begin to revolve toward the left leg. So lift the chest here, and this is where you can grab your strap. If you're using a strap, either side of the strap is on each hand, in each hand, and it's right underneath the toes on the ball mound of the foot. Lift the chest here. Wrap the right rib cage toward the feet. Bend the elbows and begin to extend the spine out. And hold here. So I like to bend the elbows just to create space here in my shoulder. So seated forward fold's great for calming the mind down. Oftentimes, lower back pain is a symptom of a lot of stress in our lives. And so we come to yoga not only for the stretching, not only for the strengthening, but the benefits of just calming down. So do that now. Slowing the breath down. And then release. Come back up and we'll switch legs. So draw the left foot to the inside of the right leg. Toes pull back towards you if you're taking the strap. Placing it just underneath the toes here. Sit tall for a moment. And then begin to hinge from the hip, wrapping the left side of the body toward the right foot. Bend the elbows. Again, if you're overly bending here or rounding in the back, just sitting up tall, focusing on nice long spine. This will do more for you than reinforcing poor posture. So holding here for a few more breaths. And then release the foot. Come back up. Bound angle. Bottoms of the feet together. Knees come out. You can place your hands again behind you just to help elevate and open up. Press the knees down. Lift the chest here. For some, you can catch hold of the feet and begin to lean forward. If you're doing so, just again, long spine, sit tall, even in our forward folds. Holding here for 2 more breaths. And last inhale, exhale. Bring your hands to the outside of the knees. Bring the legs together for Shavasana, our final rest pose. Take your blanket, and if you don't have one, please get one, a thin blanket. For mine, I'm going to do a 1, 2, 3 type of fold. So I bring it up high. I do 1, 2, and a 3. So it's like folded in thirds. So you want a blanket. This will go underneath my shoulder blades. You don't need it too high. You don't want to compress the neck as you lay on it. So you'll know your neck is compressed when the chin is lifting up far too high. So with this nice fold, you'll sit in front of the blanket, not terribly close, but a little bit. Lift the chest here, and then lean back onto the elbows, and then scoot your elbows out of the way. And you'll have to kind of figure it out. You're bringing the blanket underneath the shoulder blades. Catch hold of your head just to support your head here if you're trying to see. And then bring the head down and arms come over the blanket. Bend the knees, walk the feet wide, and allow the knees to rest or knock together. See if you're comfortable here. If things feel off or this doesn't feel right for you, coming out of the pose by gently pressing up onto your hands. Chest will lift first, and then you'll come to a seated position, remove the blanket, and then lay down normally as if you were laying flat on your back. So opening the chest here, take a full inhale, and rest here. Close the eyes. Begin to notice your breath, especially at heart center. At the center of the heart, at the sternum. On the next inhale, let everything in the front body just expand and open. Opening the ribs and the chest, and then on the exhale, allow the abdomen to relax and allow everything to go quiet. Every exhale, feeling supported by the blanket, by the mat, feeling a little bit heavier on the floor. On every inhale, notice the expansion, the openness, almost a sense of lightness in the front of the body. Relaxing the jaw. Relaxing the temples. that space in between the eyebrows. And just relax and release here for the next few moments. And slowly start to wake the body up. Wiggle the fingertips, lift the toes up and down, open and close the jaw, and slowly start to heel your toes back a little bit more to center. The knees come open. Take a full inhale and exhale, and gently bring the arms forward, and you'll start to press yourself up to a seated position, taking your time here. And if the eyes open, go ahead and close them one more time. Draw the palms together, rub them together, creating a little bit of heat. Cup them over the eyes. Blink the eyes open, looking only into your hands for a moment, and then move the hands away from your face. I thank you so much. I hope this practice today really helps your back, helps your life. A really consistent yoga practice overall does wonders for your back. So come again soon. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks.